All right, so I have been tasked with number 6 on our homework, and this one is basically compositions of functions and showing how that looks in a graphical approach. Obviously, there's several ways to do compositions. You can do it through a chart or actual numeric expressions or equations that are given to you. But in this case, we're going to do it through graphically. So one thing that I want you to consider is making sure that you're always using order of operations in everything that you do. So when we're talking about PEMDAS, or however you learn that, I'm sure you've heard of all the different methods. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally and various other things. But the P stands for parentheses. So since it's parentheses, a lot of students get confused because for this particular problem, there's actually two sets of parentheses. So we need to remember that we're going to be working with the inside set here, right here. This parentheses is just here in order to tell us that we need to find g of 2, the function at 2. So in order to do this, you'll notice that I color-coded the original problem that was given to us. This always helps, especially for your students that are a little more visual. So what you're going to do is, since it's got the g on the outside, that tells us which function to look at. And in this case, our function is red for g. So I'm going to go on the x-axis to the number 2, because this is always my x over here. G of x, there's my 2. And I want to look and see, where does the red function cross at x equals 2? So I'm basically looking up and down here. Where is the red function crossing at x equals 2? And as I look, I notice that it crosses 2 here. And that looks like that's going to be the point 2, 3. So when x is 2, y is 3, so g of 2 is equal to 3. Now that I've done that, and what's funny is a lot of times with these types of problems, if they're multiple choice, then 3 is usually an answer. So students that are used to rushing and things like that are going to select 3 as a solution because they see an answer that they got along the way. But when in reality, we still haven't even done the f part that's on the outside of this function. So don't forget about that. So we're going to drop that down. And instead of g of 2, it's kind of like we're doing substitution here. We found that g of 2 is equal to 3. So now I'm going to find f of 3. And the reason why I did this in purple is because my outside function f is telling me, look at the f of x graph that's in purple here. Again, this is my x value at 3. So I'm going to go on the x-axis to x equals 3, which is right here. But now instead of looking at the red function, which was g of x, I'm going to look at the purple function because, again, I'm wanting to find f of 3. So f of 3 is going to, looks like it's happening right here. I know my fabulous drawing is not that great, but look at the original line here, and it looks like that's the point when on the f is 3 and 1. So my answer, what is f of 3? Well, f of 3 is equal to 1. So now you have actually solved the entire problem. F of g of 2 is equal to 1. So when you're doing these problems, another thing I would tell my students as tips is, because there are two functions here, you should feel like you're plugging in twice. So if this was a composition of like f, g of f, you should feel like you're looking at the graph 3 times until you get your answer, 1 time for each function that's used. Hopefully this helps.